Good afternoon. Happy to be here. Thank you for tuning in, listening in. You're tuned in to Holla at the Success Scholar. I'm the Success Scholar, Haki Shakur Ami. Thank you very much for tuning in, listening in. We are broadcasting live here at Capitol Heights, Maryland at Everlasting Life, 9185 Central Avenue in Capitol Heights. So thank you all for tuning in, listening in. Man, we got a good conversation for you coming up here. A lot of great things are happening. But before we get started, first I want to mention that the Baltimore City Black Chamber of Commerce is having an event tomorrow morning at the Forum in Baltimore. We're going to have a legislative wrap up with several of the delegates and senators, Mr. Darrell Bonds, Nick Mosby, as well as who else? Cheryl Glenn and Senator Antonio Hayes and other delegates as well. But before that, also coming up, Stedman Graham will be in town, so definitely that's going to be Thursday. And this weekend I went to Quelly TV, but we're going to talk a little bit about that, of course, into this discussion. I have online with me a sister that I've been working with. She put together this wonderful movement called Black Money Matters, and I have her bio right here with me. So I'm going to introduce her, but I'm going to read her bio, and this is the edit version, so I'm sure she could have added a lot more to this phenomenal bio, and she's online, but let me go ahead and give her a proper due and read this so you know her background and where she's coming from. Martina Evans is a native of Baltimore, Maryland, and a graduate of Baltimore City Public Schools. She is an attorney in private practice in Baltimore, Washington, D.C. area. Ms. Evans earned her BS degree from the University of Baltimore and an AA degree from Baltimore City Community College. In 1991, Ms. Evans entered into the University of Baltimore School of Law, and the following year passed the CPA exam. So while she was in law school. As a CPA, Ms. Evans practiced accounting for local firms such as Abrams, Foster, Knoll, and Williams, and CPAs, a Black-owned firm. During her business, accounting, and legal careers, Ms. Evans has worked for several private, public, and governmental employers throughout the Baltimore metropolitan area. During her law school, Ms. Evans was the recipient of a fellowship in the name of Patricia Roberts Harris, who was the first Black female dean of Howard Law School and the secretary of HUD during the President Carter's administration. In 1994, Martina Evans received her JD MBA degrees from the University of Baltimore School of Law and the Merrick School of Business. In December 1996, Ms. Evans opened her own law firm, specializing in areas of real estate, personal injury, business, corporate, probate, employment discrimination, family law, and has practiced law ever since. In 2007, Martina founded Into Publications, LLC, named after her maternal grandmother, Pearl. In December 2007, she successfully wrote and published her first book, Worst Dates and the Lessons Learned, a compilation of dating stories for men and women. Ms. Evans is also a screenwriter and has completed several screenplays, including 4 Sundays in spring and 3 weekends in June, both of which she produced into films under her production company, E4 Productions. In April 2018, Ms. Evans produced her first play, Running from the Thurgood to Freddie Gray. Oh, wow, I haven't seen that, which she also wrote. Martina also has volunteered in many youth organizations such as Reading Partners, Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Central Maryland, the Urban Alliance, and the Baltimore area churches and nonprofit organizations. In 2018, Ms. Evans founded Black Money Matters, a not-for-profit social action coalition, the primary focus of which is to emphasize, promote, and raise awareness and consciousness about Black economic empowerment and the need to create, support, patronize, and build quality Black-owned businesses. Ms. Evans is the author of her blog, The Meat. She writes articles on relevant Black topics located at my blog, themeat.blogspot.com. So let me just welcome to the air. We have her picture up there, lovely picture up there, Sister Martina Evans, Esquire, CPA, MBA, and other things that are coming. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Hakeem, for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here today.
All right, beautiful, beautiful. And I must say that I just learned this word. I was actually getting registered yesterday. I learned a term. It's called they call them snowbirds. And that's where people that have, people who have another area that they live in when it gets too cold for the Maryland. And I must just add for my LA West Coast people that seems like she's always in LA sometimes. So she has business operations going on out there. So look her up in the LA area. And, so she has a conference coming up and we definitely going to get into that. So, she's really into Baltimore and creating opportunities. So just open up, share a little bit, about yourself, that, anything unique that I didn't perhaps mention, but, just coming up in Baltimore. Were you like in Baltimore proper?
Well, actually, I've always, initially we lived over by Sinai High School.
Okay.
And so for kindergarten, I attended Edgecombe Elementary Middle now, but it was then Edgecombe Elementary School. And, that was over in the Pimlico area, Sinai High School area. And then for first grade, we moved over by, North Baltimore.
Right.
So that was close to the Union State. And
Okay.
that's where I've been ever since.
Okay.
That's where I grew up and, developed friendships and just basically, established roots in this area.
Okay, right. Sounds good. So, yes, I can get a sense that you're a Northeast Baltimore type of person because you've you did your events coming up at Morgan State and and other events. So so you've done some films and I'm not sure how much time you've had, but you've done a few films. But first, so share a little bit. Let's share a little bit about some of the films that you did, and then we can get into some Black Money Matters.
Okay, absolutely. Well, I guess it was about 2004. My cousin, she had been into acting and she was on The Wire, and so she, at a family function, started talking to me about it and maybe getting involved. So I did. I started delving into acting a little bit and got my headshot, and she was very instrumental. My cousin did now in helping me get started with it. And what I found was there weren't a whole lot of roles, even with The Wire in Baltimore, for Black women. So I said, well, let me just start writing. I always loved writing. And so I started writing, and I found out about a program that Johns Hopkins called the Odyssey Program. It's non-credit, relatively inexpensive. And I started attending that. And that's when I started developing and learning about screenwriting. So as I did that, I, wrote a short, 3 Weekends in June, just a sort of comedy, lighthearted short. And I started attending different functions, and I learned that it's very difficult to have someone produce your short. So I produced it myself, and then I learned that it's very difficult to sell the short. So I said, well, maybe I can just piggyback on the short and do a full feature with idea. So, and that's how it came about. It was sort of like everything built on the previous layer. So everything was sort of like building on one another. And it was a lot of fun. It was, a way for me to break away from my day job and to have a hobby, to have something to really enjoy and look forward to take the stress off of practicing.
Mm-hmm. Right, right. Yeah, that's good. That's good. And I know you're definitely conscious and of the images and running from Thurgood Marshall to Freddie Gray. So
Yeah.
talk a little bit about that.
Sure. Yeah, and I just want to also highlight that there's just so much talent in the Baltimore area, Baltimore DMV, I should say, area. I learned, met so many beautiful people who were instrumental in helping and being on board with my project, and so I'm eternally grateful for that and to them. Now, when it came to my play, I was hesitant because I'd never written a play before, but I had been in plays. And I
Mm-hmm.
wanted I just always seemed to be more attracted to the screen. But I wanted to bring this to the stage first because it was approaching the 60th anniversary of board versus of ground rules before education.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought it would be with the dichotomy in everything, so many things matter with respect to the time period from the period of, sort of March all the way up to the period of Freddie Gray, from 1954 to 1955 through 2015. And so it was just, it was just very instrumental because everything happened and it began and ended in Baltimore in the same exact neighborhood. And I thought that it would be an excellent learning opportunity as well for not just for others but for myself, not just for youth but for adults as well. And so, it was just an angle because everybody was talking about the Freddie Gray uprising, but it was just looking at it from a different angle. So it basically went through the different decades, and it just shows the evolution of Black Baltimore in each of those decades. That's how that came about. We had wonderful actors, actresses, just the did the best we could to capture the moments, to capture the fashion, the dances of the different eras. Of course, in the 70s, you had the soul chain, you had the afro, you had the graffiti. It was a fun project. It just was, you have to really have the right group and the right setting in order to pull it off. But it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of hard work for me to do this one, and it was the lead, he was excellent and really ripping and really carrying the play because it also focused on the importance of the Black male in the home and how the role changed in the Black family from that period up to today.
Right, right, right. Okay, okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. So, and you having a law background, and I know one of your passions has been to address this affirmative action issue that you have seen, and this pushed you towards the Black Money Matters movement. But can you just expand on what some of your analysis, and you spoke about that when we had the film screening for Black Friday, but so in terms of one of your analysis in terms of dealing with affirmative action and how it's disproportionately not empowering Black people here, right?
Sure, sure. I mean, you probably have two things in there too. As you can probably guess, or or basically learn by now, I'm an advocate of education. I believe in it, and I think that it is a means by which we can grow as a people, as a community, especially when it comes to young people. And so I'm always trying to push education, trying to encourage young people to continue their education, regardless of where they are. So I think it was last October, when I heard about the Harvard case. Essentially, it's a group of 20,000 Asian Americans who call themselves students for fair admissions and student Harvard claimed were discriminated against because blacks and others took their spaces. And just to give you an idea, Asians make up 5.6% of the total U.S. population, but they made up the largest percentage, 22.2% of non-whites admitted to Harvard in 2017. I mean, that's major. In contrast, black people, 14%, we make up approximately 13%, so they say, of the U.S. population. But we made up only 14.6% of the incoming freshmen at colleges. In addition, Harvard has had its largest incoming class non-white in 2017. It was about 50.6% or something. It was little over 50%. So that says something in and of itself. So, you know, the NAACP Legal Defense Fund and Harvard and others are fighting the lawsuit. It's very divisive. It's being pushed by this guy named Islam, who basically was the moving force behind challenging the 1965 Voting Rights Act. So, you know, some characterize him as a nationalist. And what it is, it's just putting one group of color against all the other groups of color. And they're basing their claims on them having better grades, supposedly. So what we have to do now, and Harvard has done, I think it's valid, but it's not just grades that would make you a well-rounded person to go back into your community with good. You need to have, you need to have some type of connection. So when I speak to people about this lawsuit, and in fact I spoke with a black man on Sunday a week ago, and he said, I don't believe in affirmative action because when are we going to base it on merit? What I said to him is, how can a person, a non-black person, Asian person, how can that person be better equipped to tell me about my health if I'm going to a doctor and who's gone to the same school as, you know, anyone else? I mean, before blacks were only allowed to attend black or HBCUs. But we are sitting next to people who don't look like us, and still in all, we're not given the same level of respect. So how can that person be better equipped to tell me about my history, about, you know, my medical background, about the injury, all of the effects, all of the social economic effects that affect black people when they're not black? You can't necessarily relate. But even more than that, and I don't want to delve too much into it, I look at my own situation and how when I was about to attend law school, I was facing loans. And I received a phone call about 2.5 weeks while I was on my job in Owensville at zero price, and they said, we want you to come in. It was a black associate dean of a law school. And they offered me the Patricia Roberts Fellowship. And mind you, the only stipulation was I had to be a day student full time. I had no problem quitting that job because I didn't like it, and I was trying to figure out how I was going to manage everything logistically, going from, you know, Owensville all the way downtown, and I had a son. I was a single parent. I had a minor son. This way I could be home with my child at night and attend school during the day. And it was that decision I've never made. It was a blessing. It was a tuition waiver and a stipend. I am convicted to fight for those types of opportunities for those and young people coming behind me. So whether it was affirmative action or not, whether it was merit or not, I didn't care. But those types of opportunities for black youth, for black young people, are what we need to strive for. But instead, they're being taken away from us. And they're being, you know, people are fighting to take them away. This is not the first time and Blum has done it. He's done it at University of Texas with another, with a white female, Abigail Fisher, but because her grades were mediocre, he lost. So this thing, and the reason I bring up this lawsuit and why it's imperative that we watch it is because if it does go to the Supreme Court, then it will affect admissions throughout the country for Blacks. It will affect, and not to say that we cannot get into any school or every school on our merits. That's not the truth. And we have our HBCUs, which have their own battle with funding, especially in Maryland. So what it is saying, it limits us because there are only seven HBCU law schools, for example. So when you talk about graduate level education, we would be limited, whereas now we can attend almost any and every one. And even with affirmative action, we still are not admitted at the rate that we necessarily should be. So that's why I'm strongly against this case, and we have a petition drive focusing on dismissing the case.
Right. No, I appreciate you getting that out. I know that that's a valuable discussion, and it makes me wonder. I hear a lot of people, for instance, talking about the issue of reparations, and I'm like, well, you haven't addressed this issue yet. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, not to suggest that, to minimize it, but, it's like you maintain what you already have and you push for more if that's an option, but understanding that there are encroachments upon Black people in different spaces. And if we're not aware, like what you're saying, if we, detour away from some of these things, next thing you know, you don't get anything, right?
Yeah, I think that's an excellent point because far too often we are pulled in so many different directions, and we don't have the resources. I mean, everybody wants us to jump on the immigration bandwagon, white women movement bandwagon, the LGBT bandwagon as Black people. But what about the Black community bandwagon? Who's jumping and helping us? And I don't see that either. I don't see those other communities really coming to our aid. And if we continue to spread ourselves too thinly, then we're not going to be able to help ourselves. And that's the point. We can't continue to expect anybody to save us. We have to save ourselves. We have to uplift ourselves. Even when it comes to Baltimore, for example, there's 156 Asian American organizations have supported the lawsuit. And the way, and that was as of July 31st, 2018. And the way that it's supported is by donation. So so many different businesses, Asian American businesses, make up an organization. And it's 156 Asian American organizations, whether it's medical organizations, merchant organizations. But who supports those organizations? Who supports those businesses? Black. So why do we continue to go outside of our community when we have everything we need within our community, and it's to our detriment to continue to go outside our community? For example, and I've probably mentioned this to you before, and I'm sure you probably already know it, that we spent so much money in this country. We spent $1.3 trillion in 2017. That was our spending, and it's projected to go up to $1.5 trillion in 2021. And our Black dollars, we recycle 6 hours in our own community, but 30 days in the Asian community. They recycle their dollars. 20 days in the Jewish community, they recycle their dollars. And 17 days in the white community. Money is not being poured into our community from other communities. But even worse, we're not recycling the dollars. And so that's within our own community. And that was another reason why I said, just bring awareness to us. Hey, let me see, this is my own business can I support? Like today, I was looking for a fencing company, and I've used this company at least 3 times before, Spark Fencing. And they did an excellent job. We have to be cognizant and conscious of how we spend our money Oftentimes, we're going to restaurants, and I've seen it. There was this one restaurant in house that I used to go to all the time, and I had to stop because I didn't see any black waiters or waitresses, but I saw black, black patrons.
Right.
You have to be conscious like that because how else are we going to get these jobs?
Right.
How else? I mean, not to say that that's what we, that's the new job we should have, but when we look at certain demographics, when you talk about, for example, I have a lawsuit right now with Old Navy. My client was, we believe, racially profiled by them in July 2016. But when I went into their lawyer's office, and the lawyer in Brewing, which is not, which is in, I mean, this is a pretty, relatively speaking, this area is pretty diverse. But then I didn't see a black person anywhere. Even on the website, I don't see a black lawyer. Yet they represent not only Old Navy and Gap Inc. for this area, but also Walmart. And there's some black people who patronize Walmart. But, when you think about trickling up, going up the corporate ladder, you don't see those black people representing or representative. And so that's the thing we have to kind of think about in terms of how are we really respected, how are they giving back, and how are we actually building wealth? Even in another statistic, in 2016, median black wealth was only $13,460 compared to $142,180 for white. So there's a lot of work that we have to do in terms of, I mean, we think about everything that comes down the pipe, like in the film that we screen. How many people will lay this bad, you'll just run to it instead of realizing, well, I am really building a vision for somebody else. Like, years ago, I used to, right in my job, my market, I would go to an Asian nail salon. And one day, this was about 15 years ago, I saw a picture of a big house. And I said, what is that? And I saw, right at his station, at the nail tech station. He said, he was basically describing his dream home. So here I am putting money into his business instead of seeking out a black tech to patronize, which I have now. I mean, and that's the other thing we have to do. Stop making excuses. I want to try the black whatever, and that didn't work out, so I went back to this, or I went back to this. No, try another black, whatever.
Right.
I mean, I can just tell you stories upon stories about excuses I've gotten as a black lawyer. I've been practicing for 22 years, and people will come to me and try to get advice. But when it comes to actually retaining me, they will go someplace else. I mean, it's okay for me to give them advice on, well, let me ask you a quick question, but yet not really remember that favor when it comes to really putting your money where your mouth is.
Right. Absolutely. And this is where, re-education comes in. And I think, even with you, just kind of affirming, your back, and not that people, some people are just, unconscious, they subliminally are walking around unconscious about everything. They're just surviving on a basic level. They're just eating, they're spending money any kind of way. They don't have no rhyme or reason to anything that they do. So they're not calculating, our survival needs, as well as supporting conscious, because again, even some businesses, we have to be conscious of that. Like, okay, are you, like you said, are you hiring people that, are going to contribute and redirect a percentage of our dollars, right? So, yeah, no, I definitely see that. So, So you have your blog, and my blog, themeat.blogspot.com. So what is that?
definitely. I think just talking to a friend of mine earlier this year, a former coworker. I used to work for Maryland State Department of Education. I've worked a lot of places in addition to my own practice.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another topic we will address in the workshop, multiple streams of income. But so I when I worked there and I met, some really good people, she was one of the persons that we were talking, and she said, I don't know what topic it was, but it was a topic early this year, perhaps the R. Kelly situation, I don't know. But she said, you really ought to start a group because you really have strong opinions. And I said, oh, you think so? She said, yes. And so that's how that evolved. And we just started, because I write, I submit different op-eds to newspapers, and they may or may not get published, but this way, I can write and people who want to look at it can. And I'm also be studying Black Money Matters laws as well that will focus on those money matter, Black money matters issues.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So Black Money Matters. Is that .com or?
We're going to get there. Every time we keep saying that blackmoneymatters.blogspot.com.
Okay.
But I haven't started there yet. But just some things that we need to focus on when it comes to our dollars and our cents. And for example, I met a lady at the library once, and she was telling me that, I don't know whether it was Northeast Market or one of the markets, and there was this Asian merchant who just was asking people to give me a penny. Who just walked, who walked in. Even though it may not seem like a lot, but just think over the course of a week, over the course of a month, how much money that person is collecting for every person coming in who does it. And some people may give more than a penny just for him asking. Not that he's destitute, but he just was the expectation that you're supposed to give a person a penny or a dollar or a nickel. It's just beyond. It's just bigger than you really know to think.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's sometimes unfortunate because you think of the number of nail salons and beauty supply stores that really abuse women, Black women. I mean, I don't mean just, are disrespectful. I mean upper private, gut punching, throws and blows, and then you see Black women who come back. I mean, that to me is insane.
Yes. Absolutely.
No reason at all. Especially when there's a wonderful Black-owned beauty supply store, Beauty Plus on North Charles Street.
Yep. Right.
Black-owned. I know the couple very well.
Yes.
And I always try to plug them because they go above and beyond to provide excellent quality service.
Right.
But,
yes, they do.
We can't continue to do things. Like I said, the nail salon I used to go to years ago, it was because it was convenient. But that convenience cost me because I got an infection in my finger because the instruments weren't sanitary. So we can't continue to say, oh, well, it's convenient. Because how long should we allow ourselves to be disrespected if we have options? I mean, if that's the only thing is neighborly, that's one thing. But if you're talking about going back to a place where, the quality is so subpar, and you make excuses for it, if that was a Black-owned business, you wouldn't dare tolerate it.
Absolutely. Yeah. So repeat.
I was going to ask you, remember an article, I think about 3 months ago, former Mayor Q had mentioned about a lot of the Asian-owned businesses being harbored for engaging for drug activity.
Yes, right.
That type of behavior, that type of criminality would not happen, but it just seems to be happening. I mean, it's just unbelievable. That would need to be accepted in any other community, and we shouldn't tolerate that either.
Absolutely. And, I'll just add to that, years ago when I had a store on the corner of North Avenue in Pennsylvania, one of the restaurants around the corner, they were selling very, very bad meat. Like the meat was turning green. Yeah, so it's really, I mean, from the selling of these, all these cheap foods to selling now the K2 and at one point the drug paraphernalia, and it's like so yeah, so that's definitely have to happen. Some connectedness and to these, what's going on like that. So yeah, no, I appreciate you advocating for all of that. So coming up here, we got this conference at Morgan State. Let me put on my Morgan State hat. I got my Morgan State hat. So uh, my youngest sister, she just graduated there with her master's in social work. So thanks. Let me give her a shout out. So yes, this economic economic workshop at Morgan State, June 22nd, 9 to 4, 9 to 4. Free admission. Is that free lunch too?
It is, but free ain't free, so somebody's paying for it.
Of course, right. Right.
That's why we're asking you to register, and if you register, please show up.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So we got a few topics here. It looks like budgeting and money management, time value of money, saving versus investing. Now, I just was reading something on that last night. The compound interest, something we have to, assess, the eighth wonder of investing. Creating and supporting Black businesses. That's definitely needed. Another one. This is important. Proper presentation and appearance. So let's go over some of them. So, and just a little brief. I'm not sure if you're doing the workshops. I mean, of course, you can't do all of them. You'll run yourself a little crazy there. But so budgeting and money management. Why is that? And let me just say, we're targeting young people between 12th grade. First, why target those ages right now?
There's just a really huge on Madison Avenue in New York City to attract, to grab the youth, even younger than 7th grade, for their money to get that market, because parents will do whatever so they have everything, and so that's why Madison Avenue spends tons of money to market to that demographic. So when you think about 7th grade through 12th grade, I guess we could have gone younger, but I think the main focus is to try to help them as early as possible, but also where they can understand the content of the workshop. Imagine that they are back in the day when my parents, when they got out on their own, they basically, back then, a lot of Black people did not even finish high school. You could get a job and work and be able to survive and get your own place without a high school diploma even, but things changed. And then they, got a job without a college diploma. So just imagine you being 18 and you're on your own, and just trying to help them navigate through the decision-making process, managing money, budgeting, seeking out resources, trying to use the best of their spare time to maximize their income potential, to maximize their quality of life. So that's what the workshop is about, really.
Yes.
Including a presentation from the banking industry, several entrepreneurs, people speaking about presentation, resume development, and presentation and etiquette. Because And I don't know, you may lose some listeners here, but there is just this proliferation in our community where our young males believe it's socially acceptable to wear their pants low, their underwear. I mean, so they're too tight behind. I saw one last week. And then there's also the proliferation in our community for our young females to wear bonnets outside the house.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that we have to go all the way back.
Right.
I have to. When I was in high school, I was a member of the Future Business Leaders of America, and I basically learned so much about the business world, and I was able to get a job right out of high school at 18. I started working in the insurance industry.
Wow.
But when you have a certain thought process or behavior, how what you believe to be acceptable, then I think that it has to be retaught. With one thing that you believe may be acceptable is not going to be acceptable when you are trying to get a job. I mean, there's a certain way in certain different circles that you have to present yourself, or how you have to present.
Okay. All right. So Martina dropped off. Hopefully she can call back in. Let me tell her to call back in here. Hopefully she'll know to call back in. Okay. Hopefully she'll get that and call back in. Okay. Let's see.
Martina Evans.
All right. She got it. All right. So we're live. We're back. Okay.
I don't know what happened. Sorry about that.
That's okay. That's okay.
But I just wanted to emphasize that we're going to be working on trying to help you understand what is acceptable when it's, between work hours. Now, what happens after work hours or before work hours is one thing, but the game is what it is. And it's been that way. If you want to try to reach a certain level, this is the way that you're expected to come for an interview. This is the way you're expected to present yourself when you wanted to volunteer. And that's the important thing. We're teaching our young people how to reach out to different entities so that they can shadow, or they can, shadow people, or they can volunteer, because that's how a lot of people make connections. It's about relationship building and networking as early as possible. So that's where we are with the workshops. I think that it will be a great opportunity for any young person. We're trying to help build, our minds and mold the minds of Black youth now, especially those who may not otherwise receive this type of opportunity.
Right. Yeah, no, so absolutely, that's very important. And, I just want to add one point, and we can give out some of the, the contact information, but I know this is college students for the most part, though I was I did my show last week, and I was researching Angel Rich, who's an entrepreneur, tech young sister out of DC, and she was talking about how she went to Hampton University and she got all kind of debt just because people were there giving them credit cards, and they didn't have no free money. It was just like, oh, free money, really? I could just go and get some clothes and you'll give me what kind of car? and I just, fortunately, for me, because I was in the Navy, and I was, on Hampton's campus a lot. And, so I saw some of the young people. I mean, I know some of them had, some good parents or whatever, and, their parents helped them out on some levels. But that was one thing for me, you know, that the military did kind of encourage. They didn't want their young people to just go into debt as well. So they would just, because people would throw money at the military, and some of them guys were getting cars at 22, 24% interest because they were just an E1 making pennies on a dollar, and they just thought that they could just go ahead just because somebody said get this car, not looking at the interest rates and not looking at the the fees. And so if we can get young people thinking right now about these decisions that they may make in the future. I mean, honestly, I didn't, coming up, I didn't go to some of these things as a teenager. I'd say in my last 1 or 2 years of high school, I became a little bit more conscious and started thinking more about my future. But, you're looking at 7th and 8th grade. I mean, if like how my niece, my little cousin is, and how I take her to certain places, and I'm like, exposure, like you said, the network is key. So yeah. So I think we so looks like registration, definitely free, and I got the flyer up on the screen, and I'll give out the contact number. Or if you want to give out the contact information, so that if people wanted information, we'll give it out one more time as well.
Yeah, sure. Our website is blackmoneymatters.org.
Mm-hmm.
The registration is ongoing until all spaces are filled.
Okay.
But you have to register as soon as possible because spaces are filling up.
Mm-hmm. And
the email address is blackmoneymatters.legacy, LEGACY @gmail.com. So if you're interested, your 7th grader, all the way up to 12th grader is interested, or if you're interested in them coming, we are committed to making sure they arrive. One time, we provide a continental breakfast from 8:15 to 9. That's what, and also registration, and just or check-in rather. It's from 8:15 to 9, and then we start at 9. We go all the way up to approximately 4:15. But we really do want to try to reach as many of our youth as possible because they will have an invaluable experience. It's one day workshop. And it says a lot about them to come and commit to a Saturday in the summer. But
yes.
It's a great experience on how they can really be ahead of the game. So we reached out to every Baltimore City public school, middle school, and high school counselor and principal, and we have not heard back from almost all of them. We really are, and that was sort of disappointing because then when we didn't, we had to open it up to the county and private school students. So it was primarily focusing on Baltimore City youth. So we did not hear back, and I think that we need to have a discussion about that. However, I did hear from the counselor at Waverly Elementary Middle, and we received some students from there, and that was great. But and I've heard from some other private, as well as one or two high schools asking us to come in and do the presentation at the school. But I think that we need to have a discussion about, the expectation that people are always going to come to you. Sometimes you have to make an effort to come to them if you want the opportunity. And also something that to piggyback on what you said, we are going to discuss the whole concept of debt and have a whole just, I guess, topic on money grubbers or money grabbers because there are so many in our community. So it is going to be an impactful and very informative workshop for you.
Great, great, great. Yeah, sounds phenomenal. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna reach out to some of the legislators in that district. Matter of fact, and as well as the council person as well. I know I'll see some of them tomorrow, and I know I'll see some of them on the 15th. But I'm gonna try to get, something to them, even before the 15th. But I'm gonna reach out to you as well, see what you have, because I'm gonna be at a breakfast tomorrow with the Baltimore City Black Chamber of Commerce, and that's going to be at the Forum. So I'll actually, yeah, yeah. So I'll have a little bit of communications with some people. I may have a few words. I'm not sure yet, but so definitely, definitely. So I appreciate those opportunities. I wanted to say something too. In terms of, don't take it personally with this Baltimore City Public Schools, because I was at somewhere rather recently, and somebody said something about they had some money, like some real, I don't know if it was scholarships, and they said, I mean, I can't remember what they actually had totally, but they said how many something thousand students that they reached out to, and it was like only, no, you know what, it wasn't Baltimore. I'm sorry, that was in Durham, North Carolina, when I was down there for a black business conference, and they said only like one or two students. Yes, it was a scholarship out of some 12, 20,000, something like that. And I mean, and they had actually more scholarships. This was I don't know if it was their chamber in Durham, but the Black Chamber. But it just was like, wow, the communications, within some of the schools. I mean, he said he sent them to the counselors as well, just like what you said, and there's like no response, and you offered something for free as well. So that's yeah. So I say keep pushing. You push on your angles. I'll push with these delegates and senators. Sometimes they'll respond to a delegate or a senator more so because right.
And I also would like to mention and urge your listeners to please go to our website, and there's a link to the petition to fight this divisive lawsuit. And it's literally 2 steps. Click the link, and then it'll take you directly to the petition, and you just put in your name and email address and zip code. And I please urge you to sign the petition and to spread the word, because the person behind it, like I said, Ed Blum, he was successful in challenging the Voting Rights Act of 1965, and that's why you saw so much racial profiling, gerrymandering during the 2016 election, because by that time, and I think it was 2013, it was everything, the protections that Blacks had from the 1965 Voting Rights Act were removed. So we were distracted. We were distracted by so many things going on elsewhere that nobody really knew. And again, it's unfortunate because we had I think by 2012 we had the whole gay marriage push. We were distracted with that nobody really was in Maryland. I'm speaking specifically in Maryland. That nobody was really talking about it. And by the time I read up on it, it had already been done. So we can't keep sleeping on things that will impact us and us primarily.
All right, yeah. All right, yes, please. I've signed it myself, so definitely appreciate you, sister. And hopefully, I'm partially, I'm gonna try to get back from the Black Enterprise Conference in Charlotte, which was kind of along those days, but I'm gonna try to get back before that Saturday, so that I can come. But definitely appreciate you. Yes, sounds good. So just to let everybody know, and I'll let you go, sister, so you can get to work in DC and handle your business. So thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. And I look forward to hearing from you, and hopefully you'll be able to stop by on the 22nd.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Peace.
Bye.
All right. All right. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
All right. So I just wanted to close with one more thing and just want to let everybody know the Power Networking Conference that's going down in Houston, the 24th through the 26th, 7th, something like that. 26th through the 29th. And before that is the Black Enterprise Conference that's in Charlotte. So Houston and Charlotte, and I have an invite for Thursday. Stedman Graham, let me say his full name, and I'll have Sister Ari Squires with me next week, and she's going to have Stedman in Atlanta, but he's going to be in Baltimore on Thursday. So I got an invite to that. So I definitely will be present for that. And Quelly TV had a phenomenal event this weekend. So I'm out, y'all. Till next week. Holla at the Success Scholar. Thank everybody for tuning in. Different places. eLife Media. Come get your vegan cuisine. Everlasting Life, 9185 Central Avenue, Capitol Heights, Maryland. Check out some of the other shows here on eLife Media as well. Thank my producer. And till next week, we out.